and that individuals suffering from addiction or mental health struggles are able to get help that they need. Well, if that's how it works out, hooray. If that's how this works out, I don't understand why cities and states can't do that. This is from USA Today. Trump just signed an order pushing cities and states to remove homeless people from the streets. Now, we had Dr. Drew on, and he explained to us that there's laws that you can't just take somebody off the street if they don't want to be taken. But get this. Trump signed an order directing Attorney General Pam Bondi to seek to reverse federal and state judicial precedents and end consent decrees that limit local and state governments' ability to move homeless people from streets and encampments into treatment centers. That's what this says. I'm reading it to you. So he's trying to get the law reversed that makes it hard for you to get a homeless person off the streets and into treatment. The move, first reported by USA Today, also redirects federal funds to ensure the homeless people impacted are transferred to rehabilitation, treatment, and other facilities, though it was not clear how much money would be allocated.
No, it sounds great, but in light of the other things, what are the odds?
What are the odds that they do this correctly? Under the order, which the White House has titled Ending Crime and Disorder on America's Streets, Bondi is also required to work with the Secretaries of Health and Human Services. By the way, do we have places to put these people? I thought they closed all the mental health hospitals and treatment centers. Do they all are they all mad?
Being deported to countries with health care?
Yeah, are they going to deport them to countries with health care? Under the order, which the White House has titled Ending Crime and Disorder on American Streets, Bondi is also required to work with the Secretaries of Health and Human Services, that means RFK, Housing and Urban Development and Transportation, to prioritize federal grants to states and cities that enforce prohibition on open illicit drug use, urban camping and loitering, and urban squatting, and track the location of sex offenders. So this seems like more of a carrot approach that Trump is I'm going to give money to states and cities that do this. Are they going to cover up for the sex offenders like they did with the rich ones? Are they going to do that for the homeless ones? White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt, in a statement to USA Today, said Trump is delivering on his commitment to make America safe again and end homelessness across America. We'll see. By removing vagrant criminals from our street and redirecting resources towards substance abuse programs, the Trump administration will ensure that Americans feel safe in their own communities and that individuals suffering from addiction or mental health struggles are able to get help that they need. Well, if that's how it works out, hooray. If that's how this works out. I don't understand why cities and states can't do that. Like, we spent $24 billion in California the last few years trying to help homeless people. But of course, none of that money saw it to the homeless people. It went right into the pockets of the non-government organization. So instead of the government just hiring a bunch of people to go help homeless people and get them into treatment centers, they didn't hire anybody. They gave a contract to a company that is connected to somebody in government, and they gave them all these millions of dollars, and then they take those millions of dollars and they give it to all their friends and family. You know how absurd this is, that some idiot's going to go, what do you want the government to do it? No, I want them to go through a series of cutouts. Yeah. I'm sure that's more capitalist and efficient than them just doing, hey, here's an idea. Hire some H-1B visa illegal aliens to do it. There's probably a job Americans don't want. So this is in San Diego. That's in San Diego. Why don't you arrest Newsom? Why don't you release the Epstein stuff and all the stuff they have on all the evil people in this country, or at least hold it over the governors who are no doubt involved in everything, and force them to do their job that they should have had done. So Trump's action comes after the Supreme Court ruled in June that people without homes can be arrested and fined for sleeping in public spaces, overturning a lower court's ruling that enforcing camping bans when shelter is lacking is cruel and unusual punishment. So you're going to take someone off the street, arrest them, put them into a jail, which in California costs $120,000 a year,
That's where they're going?
Why wouldn't you just go give that person an apartment for $30,000 a year?
Why not build a tiny home or any number of things that people have tried to do and they haven't been successful?
Right.
Because the graph doesn't want a successful program.
That's right.
Because they make money on this problem.
That's right, because there's a lot of people making billions of dollars on keeping the homeless problem a problem.
Hey, does Thomas Sowell, that great intellectual, maybe he has an idea of how we can conservatard this to make it work out? Because the private option seems to be bullshit.
Yes, it is. In a 6-3 decision split amongst ideological lines in the conservative majority court, they upheld a ban in Grant Pass, Oregon, prohibiting homeless residents from sleeping outdoors. Homeless residents of the southern Oregon city of 38,000 face fines starting at $250 in jail time for repeat offenses. So you're gonna fine people who have no money, and you're gonna put them in jail for not. You're gonna give them 3 meals a day and shelter for them not having shelter.
Will it be in America?
Could you think of a dumber way to handle this problem? Put them in prison cells? You know how much prison cells cost? I'm just telling you, in California, it's $120,000. Check me on that.
That's about right, Jimmy.
So why wouldn't you? Why? So what they actually need? So the homeless people that people are upset about are the people who have mental problems and are drug addicts. And there's a lot of homeless people who are actually you don't see. They're the ones living in shelters. They're the ones. So this is only to get the people off the street, the mentally ill people. And the drug addicts.
$132,860.
$132,000 a year it costs to lock somebody up in California.
That's the average annual cost. That's the
average annual cost.
Don't you get slowpokes to be guards for really low pay? So where's that money go?
It's risen by 90% in the last decade. By 90%.
There's a lot of money in private prisons, I'll tell you that. So here's what the National Homelessness Association says. They condemned Trump's order, characterizing it as misguided at best and counterproductive and dangerous at worst. The safest communities are those with the most housing and resources, not those that make it a crime to be poor and sick, said Jesse Rabinowitz of the National Homeless Law Center. As a licensed mental health professional, I know that forced treatment is unethical, ineffective, and illegal. People need stable housing and access to health care, Rabinowitz said. Rather, Trump's action will force more people into homelessness, divert taxpayer money away from people in need, and make it harder for local communities to solve homelessness. Across the United States, more than 771,000 people lived without housing in 2024, according to HUD count and taken annually on a single night in January. It was the highest tally ever recorded. An 18% jump over 2023 when officials counted 650,000 people living in homeless shelters or in parks or on streets. Many cities have struggled to build more affordable housing in recent years, while some communities have pushed for harsher laws banning tents and sleeping in public spaces. How about if we take some of that $300 billion that we just sent to Ukraine and the extra $200 billion Trump's giving the Pentagon? That's like $500 billion. I bet we could build housing for people. Those tiny houses they were going to build. Remember, we could build treatment centers.
We could have a slum for them.
We could give people things. We could do this, but we're not going to do it.
Yeah, because real estate developers want that there to buy up all that. Don't you remember they're trying to herd you into a 15-minute city in all these places. So if you don't make $10 million a year, you're not middle class, just so you know what the numbers are now. You got to make $10 million.
Trump has often expressed his distaste of homeless camps, singling out the removal of encampments on parks and federal land in Washington as a priority. Trump in a 23 campaign video said, "We will use every tool, lever, and authority to get the homeless off our streets. We want to take care of them, but they have to be off our streets."
Well, they do, but are you going to take care of them?
But are you going to take care of them?
Still remains.
I mean, the idea to throw a homeless person in jail for sleeping in public, why wouldn't you just go get him a hotel room? It's cheaper. Why wouldn't you go get him an apartment?
We need them for illegals. We need them for illegal immigrants.
That's right.
While we deport legal immigrants. That's why.
Other
You pay way more than you should pay to put them in luxury hotels, illegals, while homeless citizens could go die.
Other items in Trump's order include language that seeks to ensure that grants intended for substance use disorder prevention and recovery don't fund drug injection sites or illegal drug use. The order also prohibits convicted sex offenders who receive homelessness assistance from being housed with children and supports new homeless programs to exclusively house women and children. Well, that's good.
Was that not happening?
I guess was that not happening already?
Should I be grateful that this basic thing that should be obvious to an idiot that knows nothing is signed in?
So this is a problem not just of the United States. This is a Western world problem. We were just in the UK. We saw it there. This is the, the open borders and the homelessness. It's like it's some kind of WEF plan, just like Tucker Carlson talked about when he was on our show, to make people desperate for authoritarian solutions. That's what it seems like.
You want Palantir to track down.
Yeah, Palantir. That's right.
So Common Dreams is covering this story too, and Scott Kutovich, senior staff attorney with the ACLU's Trone Center for Justice and Equality, tied the order to the Republican Party's broader agenda, saying that from the so-called Big Beautiful Bill that will strip health care from millions to this dangerous executive order, every action this administration takes displays remarkable disdain for rights and dignity of vulnerable people. So they're going to be removing support for people.
So they're taking away people's health care. That's going to create more homeless people. And then it sounds like they're going to be locking them up. So it sounds like a police state solution to a economic problem.
Hey, you live in Gaza now. How you like that?
Yeah.
Hey, it looks like you're going to live in Gaza
So did you see how much money they're going to give ICE to build prisons? Did you see that, Kurt?
No.
Yeah. Look that up. It's billions and billions, tens of billions of dollars to build new prisons for ICE. So that's what this sounds like. This sounds like we're not going to give you more health care.
$45 billion to ICE.
$45 billion to ICE. So we're not going to give you more health care. We're not even going to give you good wages. We're not going to reinvigorate the middle class, but we will send you to jail. So we're going to endless money. So this sounds like an acceleration of the police state. It certainly is an acceleration of the surveillance state. That's what's all the Trump and his big beautiful bill is all about.
Sounds like the Kali Yuga is what it goddamn sounds like.
I don't know what that is.
Accelerationism. Why don't we speed up the end of everything and just see where it goes? That's what the tech freaks are into.
Wow.
I know we had that conversation with Dr. Drew talking about how hard it is to give actual help assistance to people that are on the street.
Right.
Because in other words, you're like kidnapping them, and it's,
right.
You're trying to give them something that will benefit and help them. But at the same time, I'm thinking of the real issue for me, and I've been saying this for years, is elder care. Where is the programs for elder care? How many of our families have aging parents? And what are we supposed to do? How helpless do young families feel to try to support an elder in their family? What expendable money do we all have to care for them?
Well, the Big Beautiful Bill actually cuts it. So a lot of people in nursing homes are on Medicaid. So they're cutting that money.
There you go.
And so it's not solving a problem. It's making a problem worse. And their answer is lock them up.
Yeah,
so So we'll see if they actually put money into treatment programs and actual housing for these people. But if the idea, again, there couldn't be a crazier idea than to take a person who's sleeping on the sidewalk because they don't have any money for an apartment and then pay $130,000 a year to put them in a jail cell. Why wouldn't you just take $30,000 and put them in an apartment? And if they need mental health, and if they need health care, give them health care. What, Kurt?
That's for illegals. That's not for people that are homeless here. Why not take money out of the goddamn CIA who brought all the fentanyl and all the crack all that shit into this fucking country? Why are they still even a thing after they created this problem?
It's interesting that they want to take the most vulnerable off the street, but there's not one war criminal in my lifetime that will ever face justice.
Yeah, of course.
Well, if there's any consolation, Steph, obviously the money will never go to that and just be stolen by someone. So you don't have to worry about that part.
Yeah.
And you can all pray that they genetically engineer a new virus out of bird flu to clean out your old folks like they did with COVID. That's your only hope now. You didn't want a new bird flu, so how are we going to thin out the herd? Because there are too many old people, and we're not paying for all this. Even with Bill Gates' poop water machine, we won't be able to supply all the needs of everyone. So you didn't want to gain of function research, but that's why we do that.
And also just to go back to this whole thing, none of these programs are any of the programs that I remembered hearing any Democrat ever talk about improving. Like, what Democrat has ever come out and started to talk about that we want to help the homeless?
That nobody has a plan. Like
look, we had to get tampons in the boys' room.
That's right. I said that during the campaign. Trump had this idea that he was going to put them all out in camps, outside of cities. I go, at least he's talking about it. No Democrats even talking about. They don't even talk about.
Oh, why not train them to be terrorists so the FBI has something to catch and they can blow us up and traumatize us for more wars and more. Hey, I'll brainstorm. We could have even more police state laws. You train these homeless to be terrorists. You'll set them loose on everyone. They'll be begging for a nice, smart city.
I mean,
why don't I get hired? Talk to him.
I mean, there's a part of me that's sad that I don't have children, but then there's another part of me that's glad because this is
cut their dick off.
This is an unsustainable system we're living in, and it's run by, criminals who are blackmailed for pedophilia.
And they're planning ahead for a thing they call global governance. I don't know why that's not more ominous to people. And that's why your kids, we're going to sexually mutilate them so they can't reproduce, because we think in generations. We don't think in, trending like the average moron cow does, which is what they made us all into.
Wow. So we'll see what happens with Donald Trump. But what you can see is me doing stand-up August 3rd in Oxnard, California, and in Rutherford, New Jersey, and in Manhattan, New York. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets. Come see us in Oxnard, California, Rutherford, New Jersey, Manhattan, New York, Edmonton, Calgary, Vancouver, Appleton, Wisconsin, Rosemont, and Chicago, Illinois. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets.